Is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu salutes Lagosians for calm conduct at subsidized food markets as residents commend initiative call for extension. Federal government plans school safety corps to tackle rising kidnapping of students. On the foreign scene, Russia charges 4 men with terrorism over Moscow concert attack. And in sport, Super Eagles duo of Onyeka Basi to miss Nigeria's friendly game against Mali. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commended residents for their smooth conduct at Onje-Eko markets. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, in a statement, quoted the governor as saying that the initiative is all about assuring Lagosians that the administration will continue to stand by them and will continue to find and deploy creative ways of easing their burden. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this after receiving reports of calmness and orderliness at the markets despite the huge turnout of residents. The Governor Sanwo-Olu also praised the Special Dispensation Advisory Committee on Social Interventions, SPEDAC, an 11-man non-partisan body set up to advise the government on various interventions for its support on all the initiatives, which will soon be fully rolled out. Lagosians have commended Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration for the subsidized Sunday market, also known as Onje-Eko, across the state. Some residents who spoke with our reporter Adirayo Iduolaya at Lafia G High School, Lagos Island, applauded the gesture and called for the extension of the program.
Thanks to Babajide Sanwo-Olu and our local government chairman.
Good initiative. I must say that kudos to Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State. May God bless him. This is a good initiative. I will appreciate what he's doing. This is really amazing. The process is actually seamless. If you have your number, you don't have any issue. They'll call your number, you come and collect wherever you want to buy, and that is it.
It's okay.
The market at Lafia G High School, Lagos Island, had on ground about 500 pieces of all listed items and saw residents transact with both cash and online payments, thereby making it accessible for many people. Also speaking with our reporter Adiwale Olu-Moroko, who monitored the activities of the markets around Ifako-Ijaye local government, residents urged the state government to provide a platform where they can order online. On their parts, vendors at the markets commended the state government for providing succor to residents through subsidized food items, especially amid these economic downturns. Earlier, market leaders in Ifako-Ijaye, Idris Boyega and Lagos Island East, Oluwatoyin Dabiri Afolabi, noted that challenges such as crowd control, late arrival of vendors, demand and supply, availability of produce have been fully addressed.
What we do is, once you come in, you go to the pick point, you get your voucher through your ATM card or your credit card. Then with the voucher, you go straight to the vendor's point and pick your products. It's seamless.
The other residents that are not here is that they should come because the governor has their love in his heart and he has the love of the poor, especially populace, in his heart.
The Onje-Eko initiative, introduced by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration to cushion the effects of the economic hardship, kicked off on Sunday, 17th of March 2024, across the 5 divisions of the state. Staple food items, including rice, gari, beans, eggs, and pepper, were sold at a 25% discount to residents. The Lagos State Ministry of Transportation has noted with dismay the misinformation on various social media handles on the data sharing agreement between the government and the e-hailing platforms operating in the state. Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiemi, in a statement, said that for the avoidance of doubt, all the e-hailing companies agreed to the importance of this venture to security and safety in the state, and each company has independently signed in an agreement fully committing to its implementation, affirming unwavering commitment to ensuring complete compliance with these measures. He says the API integration was instituted to establish a reliable driver and passenger verification platform, which will enable the government to ensure that the e-hailing services comply with necessary background checks, vehicle inspections, and driver licensing requirements. Oshiemi notes that this will significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized or unqualified individuals operating as drivers, enhancing the overall safety and trustworthiness of the e-hailing platforms. He adds that it is imperative to state that non-compliance will lead to stringent sanctions in strict accordance with state laws and regulations, emphasizing that the decision to enforce sanctions is a matter of last resort, undertaken in the best interests of all stakeholders. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) have seized over 44,948.1 kilograms of illicit drugs and arrested 8 suspects in multiple raids across Lagos, Edo, and Ondo states. The anti-narcotic agency also seized 11 vehicles owned by the drug cartels. The agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said over 14,000 kilograms of psychoactive substances were raised on 5.7 hectares of farms in Ovia Southwest local government area of Edo State. The agency stated that in a well-coordinated operation in Lagos State, its operatives seized 10,534 kilograms of Ghanaian loud, a strain of cannabis in the Ajah area of the state, where 11 vehicles were seized from the drug cartel. Babafemi noted that in another raid at the Agor Palace Way area of the state, a suspect, Miracle Obi, was arrested with 1,006 ampules of pentazocine injection, 50 tablets of tramadol, 89 bottles of codeine syrup, and 2,360 ampules of diazepam injection. He added that operatives of a special operation unit of NDLEA also disrupted criminal activities of another cocaine syndicate in Abuja at the weekend, with the arrest of 3 group leaders. Now to the rest of the stories. In a bid to address the rising kidnapping of pupils, the federal government has commenced plans to create a school safety protection corps to safeguard schools across the country. The commander of the National Safe Schools Response Coordination Center of the NSCDC, Hamed Abodunri, who made this known, said the government has also resolved to employ more security personnel and had procured equipment to bring an end to the kidnapping of students by terrorists. The Safe School Response is an initiative of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in response to increasing cases of attacks on schools by bandits. The National Safe Schools Response Coordination Center was established by the federal government and saddled with the responsibility of coordinating safety and security responses against violence in schools and host communities. Abodori added that plans have been concluded to train some newly recruited personnel of the NSCDC in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory for this squad. The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has directed applicants of the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme to submit their national identification numbers as part of the necessary requirements to obtain a grant earmarked to cushion the effect that recent economic reforms have had on businesses in the country. The government, through the Bank of Industry, had said it would be disbursing 3 categories of funding totaling 200 billion naira to support manufacturers and businesses across the country. It said the new rule was based on the new regulations from the Central Bank of Nigeria, directing Nigerians to link their national identification numbers with their bank accounts. Trade Minister Doris Aniete issued the new directive in a post on her official X social media platform. And the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has trained 150 youths from Anambra State on table fish production. The training, which was held at the Anambra State Polytechnic, Baku had trainees drawn from various communities across the state. Anambra State was selected as one of the 25 centers in the 15 ECOWAS countries and one of the 4 in Nigeria to which the Commission granted subsidies to train young people in the table fish production. The Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, ECOWAS Commission, Masanje Torelise, while congratulating the trained graduates, noted that they have shown the desire to contribute to the economic development of Nigeria and the region as a whole. She noted that the idea was to train people who would become self-reliant and as well contribute to food security and availability in the entire West Africa. Now to foreign news, Russia has charged 4 men it accused of attacking a Moscow concert hall and killing at least 137 people. 3 were marched but bent double into a Moscow court, while the 4th was in a wheelchair. All were charged with committing an act of terrorism. 7 other people have also been arrested in Russia suspected of aiding the attack. The Islamic State Group, or IS, said it carried out Friday's outrage at Crocus City Hall and posted video evidence. Russian officials have claimed without evidence Ukrainian involvement. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky on Sunday rejected the claims, and his military intelligence directorate said it was absurd. In our sports, Super Eagles duo of Frank Onyeka and Calvin Bassey have been ruled out of Super Eagles friendly against the Eagles of Mali due to injury. Onyeka sustained an unspecified injury in Nigeria's 2-1 friendly victory against the Black Stars of Ghana in Marrakesh, Morocco last Friday. The defensive midfielder played the entire 90 minutes of the game. Onyeka has already returned to his base in England for further treatment on the injury. The Brentford midfielder travelled to England alongside Fulham defender Calvin Bassey, who has also been ruled out of the game due to injury. Bassey was an unused substitute against the Black Stars. The Super Eagles will take on Mali at the Grand Stade de Marrakesh on Tuesday. And that is our news at 10. Just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Traffic Radio 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur Strategy for Wealth Creation? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commended residents for their smooth conduct at the Onje-Eko markets. In a bid to address the rise in kidnapping of pupils, the federal government has commenced plans to create a school safety protection corps to safeguard schools across the country. Also told you that Russia has charged 4 men it accused of attacking a Moscow concert hall and killing at least 137 people. And in sports, Super Eagles duo of Frank Onyeka and Calvin Bassey have been ruled out of Super Eagles friendly against the Eagles of Mali due to injury. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola